Now, I wanted to talk about some of the consciousness-based technologies that the human beings uh, have reverse engineered from the alien prototypes that they have, and also that they have figured out on their own in the classified sphere. Now, I was assaulted with mind control weapons for about 20 years. So when I see things like this, a big antenna farm like that, it always gives me the heebie-jeebies. But the fact is, I think some of these consciousness-based technologies are not necessarily being carried out in the radio frequency realm. I think at least some of it is transdimensional. When Stephen Greer summons the aliens, let us call them the stellar or interstellars, with the power of his mind, he's not doing that with any kind of radio frequency apparatus. That is a transdimensional telepathic communication that he is somehow undertaking with his mind. But I do want to address some of the human mind control weapons. Here's a recent story about a Kalamazoo, Michigan taxi driver named Jason Dalton, who went on a shooting spree, killing 6 people and wounding 2 others, told police that the ride-sharing app on his smartphone took over his mind and body and made him carry out the rampage. Now, this sounds like a classic mind control operation. In a series of interviews with police after the shootings, Dalton blamed the killings on the Uber app, saying his iPhone directed him where to go and when to shoot people. Dalton told police that when he opened up the Uber ride service app, a symbol which he believed to be the Eastern Star popped up, that it resembled a devil's head, and that's when all the problems started. He described the devil figure as a horned cow head or something like that, and then it would give you an assignment and it would literally take over your whole body, he told police. Dalton told police literally when he logged onto the site, it started making him be like a puppet. He told police that when the app turns from red to black, that's when he started having all the problems. Then when the system switched from black to red, then he got his self-control back. Dalton told police it feels like it's coming from the phone itself, and he didn't know how to describe that. It was almost like artificial intelligence that can tap into your body, he said. He said it would take you over to the point that you're like a puppet, and he was afraid he could have killed his own family. Okay, so from that testimony, you gather that he knew it was some kind of an artificial external object which had entered into his mind. Now, the intelligence agencies that were undertaking this operation wanted him to think that it was coming from his phone, and they wanted him to testify to that effect so that the press would report that. So it looks here like the spies want everybody to think that it is a radio frequency phenomenon, when it might not be at all. It might be a trans-dimensional object, which is completely separate from the radio frequency apparatus in our cell phones. And you don't know who the spies are. You don't know what country they're from. It could be Russia or China or Israel or a corporate operation from the United States or anywhere. You have no idea who the perpetrators are in this instance. And we don't even really know what their motives are, except to try to make everybody think that it's coming in over the cell phone towers. Now that's on the bad end, okay? In my own personal experience, they've put me into like this telepathic continuum that now has certain human beings in it, and sometimes the extraterrestrials enter into this communication loop, and they speak directly into my mind telepathically. I have always thought that this could be the most incredible educational tool ever devised, ever available to the human race. And Thomas Bearden says this on his website. He says that large-scale knowledge bases can be transferred. And I will tell you from my own personal experience, somebody in this telepathic continuum has given me artistic lessons. They've had me go back and rework my own art projects and make them much, much better. They've had me go out and purchase art by other artists and start reworking it as an exercise to get myself onto a new learning track. I will tell you that I started skiing when I was 5 years old. I received a lifetime ski pass when I was 8 years old. And I may have spent several thousand hours actually on skis, so I got pretty good. And I will tell you that the telepathic continuum put me into contact with a skier, a human skier, I don't know who he is, who was much better than I am. And I went out and I started skiing at a level that was much higher than anything I ever achieved before. Whoever this person is, I think he's male. He skis with a very wide stance, and he gave me this whole new set of body feelings to explore in my athletic experience. I started doing these big outrigger turns like you see the racers doing, and it was really a blast. So it has been demonstrated to me that these telepathic technologies can assist in the transfer of knowledge and expertise. And then beyond this, I will say that the extraterrestrials are trying to introduce to us the very notion that our whole experience of life and of consciousness will be revolutionized, and we will begin to perceive the living mind of the universe and the minds of ancient races all across the cosmos. And this will be a spiritual transformation. This brings a tear to my eye speaking about this. So we have magnificent things to look forward to.